That is genuinely right. I saw this yesterday, and actually, like, I wholeheartedly, like, I believe there's not. This is actually probably the thing I believe the most, and one of the most factual things I've probably seen this month, let alone this year. You can tell how good a sales rep is. Okay, you can tell how good a sales rep is by the accuracy of their pipeline and the precision of their CRM. I'm talking about the best closers and the best people that make the most money in sales are the people that you can ask them a question, and they'll have like five prospects in mind that they can follow up with or any on any given day, you can ask them, "Hey, who did you call on Tuesday, the 12th of October?" And they can go on their sheet right now. It'll take them 2 minutes, and they'll be like, "I called Stacy, Tracy, Joanne, and Shanquisha." Like you can tell how good a closer is by how dialed their CRM is and how dialed they are as well on the precision of like their CRM and how seriously they take that. Okay, think back to the people that are crushing it, but I also think to the people that make the most money, that like genuinely that made the most money last month and that are gonna make the most money this month because they're already on track, right? Two people that come to mind, Adam and the Bait. Why do you guys think that they're absolutely crushing it right now? They're killing it and they're making the most money outside of their closing skills.
I'm guessing it's like you just said, that keeping track and stuff.
They're fucking dialed in. Their CRMs, their softwares, their pipeline, they're dialed in. I can call Adam right now, like, yo, Adam, who do you think you're gonna call? Like, who do you have in mind that you've had a call with that might be able to make it? And he'll tell me like five names off of the bat. Same with a Bait. Okay. And these guys, they don't only just do on the call, they do off call work. Like I'm like for instance, Deborah, obviously I know you're not a good example because you've got your whole business. So let me say Ahmad, all right? Ahmad, if you had 10 calls in a day, 50% show rate, and you work, say you work 10 hours in a day, right? You had 10 calls booked, 50% show rate. So five calls booked. With the rest of those
Mm.
5 hours, how do you think, or what do you think the highest leverage activity that you can do? What do you think the highest leverage activity possible that there is for you to do so you can make more money and you can close more deals?
Follow up with the previous calls and yeah, follow up with the previous calls that haven't closed.
Following up with previous calls that haven't closed, people that said they want to close, but they had to do this, people that gave you objections,
Yeah.
genuinely just off the call activity. All right. Like when we're not working, when we're not taking calls, obviously I know like we're not all robots, we're not maniacs, right? Like we can't all just be fucking working 10 to 10 back hours. Obviously, I know there'll be rests, I know you have to take a break or whatever. But there's a good 2 to 3 to 4 hours where we've got free time when we're not on calls. Then guess what? What can we be doing? We can be following up with all leads. We can be nurturing our pipeline. We can be hitting up prospects that said they wanted to buy but had this problem, or hitting up prospects that didn't show up to a call last month, but we've still got them in our number, seeing if they've given up on their financial freedom journey. There's so much that we can be doing that will make us an insane amount of more money and that will make it so that you guys have like a doubled commission check at the end of the month just by using your allocating your hours more correctly. Deborah, obviously, I know, like I said, you're not really a good example because you've got the business, etc., right? But how much commission did you make last month?
Um, so on the offers with you guys, I made 6K, and then on like and some other offers I was helping with, I made like
Cool.
3K.
So you
So
made 6K, right?
9K.
How many of your calls showed up last month, roughly? Actually, I can
Um,
literally go and see. Don't tell me. I can literally go and see. Can you still see my screen, by the way? Actually, hang on. Can you see my screen now?
yeah.
Okay,
I
let
mean,
me,
you can see the whiteboard.
cool. Let me go to menu. Deborah, last month, your show rate for November was 25%.
Yeah.
Okay. Your show rate was 25%. But how much did you say you made in comms?
6K.
Based, if everything was the same, if you did the exact same, you had the exact same sales performance, you didn't do anything or nothing changed, or even if you had a little bit of a drop off, right? But you had 25% more of a show rate. Like instead of 25%, you had a 50% show rate, which not on just existing calls, but from live calls and from people that you followed up or people that no-showed in the past that you called back, you had a 50% show rate and everything else stayed the same, how much money would you have made last month?
At 12K.
You know what I mean? Now I said, obviously, that's not an example to you. That's not like me like saying,
No, it's valid. It's
you know
valid.
that. But what I'm saying is I'm using that as an example. If someone like Deborah can make 6K off a 25% show rate, it's common maths. Like, what else will we be able to do? Or how much more money do you think you'll be able to make if we just double that? If we, you know what I mean? And the way you can double that is just by doing offer call work. Like, there's so many of you right now, right? Or there's so many of you that are on an offer right now that genuinely, especially on like Eban's offer or even Cypher, right? Ahmad, obviously, this would be for you later on down the line because you haven't had a lot of calls yet. There's so many of you where if you woke up today, right, and you decided, you know what? I want to make $1,000 today. I've decided I want to make $1,000 today. You have the power, you have the lead flow, and you have the ability to call everyone, dial everyone, message everyone, and make it happen. You know what I mean? And I'm saying this for people that are like watching this as well. Like, there's so many of you, if you wanted to, you could make that happen just waking up. But it's a decision that you make, right? So what I'm saying is, right, following up and pipeline nurturing, like that is some of the best things that you can do as a sales rep because it's going to make you an insane amount of money. And instead of having 6K at the end of your month, you're going to have 12K. How happy would everyone be if they had 12K in commissions at the end of every single month? How much more things could you buy? How many holidays could you take? You know what I mean? Like, it's insane. The life that you want genuinely is just on the other side of the work that is right there for you to be taken. Like, we've all got the opportunity. And there's killers on this offer, right? Where there's killers in the space where if they have a 25% show rate, but they made 6K the next month, they're working overtime. I'm talking about they're doing an abade and they're calling leads at fucking 4 a.m. to collect cash. Because the money doesn't sleep. Okay. So what I'm trying to say here is, right, you will make an insane amount of money. The increase will be crazy if you do your offer call work and if you work your pipeline and if you've got an accurate CRM. The reason why I hound you guys and the reason why I'm always like, fill your CRM. The reason why I'm always like, update the notes. Update the objections. Okay, and with this new system now on Airtable, like that's going to be so more prominent. I'm actually going to be able to see it. I'm really going to be on this even more because it's a lot harder right now for me to really be able to see because that sheet that we've got on Google Sheets is a little bit confusing. But with this sheet and with this CRM, like I'm going to be on that. Like it's one of those things where genuinely, like if you think you're tired of me now, you are going to be tired of me after, and I promise you. You know what I mean? Deborah's laughing because she knows she might get it. You know what I mean? She knows she might get it. But what I'm saying is, right, like what we really need to do here, what we really need to be emphasizing on is filling in the CRM and making sure we update the notes, right? And the reason why is because genuinely, like 60 to 70% of cash is actually collected from follow-ups of people that you haven't either spoke to or you've spoken to in the past and but they're ready to buy now. If people aren't ready to buy now, they will eventually. You know? They will eventually. And the reason why we need the notes and the reason why we need the notes on their situation and where they were is so that we can craft the best follow-up message and we can actually reach out to them with impact, right? A good follow-up message and the follow-up message that all of you guys can use, right? And there'll be two types, right? We have one for, give me a second. We'll have one for no closes. Can you still see my screen, guys? We'll have one for no closes / you guys can still see my screen? Yeah? Yeah. Have no closes / like close lost, as in like you close them, and like when I say close, like you got them to make a decision and they said they were gonna do it, but they didn't. And we'll just have one for like the no-shows in general. The message that you can take right now that is going to jolt these old leads, right? Specifically for no closes and close losts, is first things first. Step one, gonna understand why they didn't close.
Sorry, bro. I need to jump for my 4 p.m.
No worries. But like I said, just remember, let's just make sure we have this time in the calendar from now on, please, bro.
Yeah, we'll do.
Cool, bro. Take care.
Bye.
We're gonna understand why they didn't close. Once we understand why they didn't close, we're gonna review their notes. Which is why I said the notes and filling in the notes after your tracker so that you remember, so that you can check your CRM is super important. We're gonna review their notes, what's recorded. Like we've got flipping fathoms. Like, do you know how insane that is? Genuinely. Do you know how much money like old school Wolf of Wall Street sales reps would have made if they had fathom recordings? If they could record their calls, they could record prospecting calls. Do you know how much money Jordan Belfort would have made legally if he was able, if he had access to that? Nuts. We've got all of these like tools at our advantage. And then we're gonna cook up a script. And now what this script is gonna look like is gonna be something on the lines of, hey X, wanted to ping this over. We spoke X months ago when you were struggling with Z. X, Y, no, sorry, when you were struggling with Y. Just wanted to recently client has made Z changes or added like Z addition, or recently we've implemented XYZ that I think might be really useful to helping you solve the problem that you faced. Would you be against maybe a 5-minute chat within the next week so I could walk you or so I can walk you through on how you might be able to implement this yourself? Would you be against a 5-minute chat later on this week or today, or would you be against a 5-minute chat now so that I can show you how you can implement this? And the reason why you want to say show you how to implement this is because it's going to be a lot less salesy if we're like, I can just show you how to implement it. So I can show you how you might be able to use this, rather than so I can show you how we can do this, you know? Like, what do you think sounds better? Who do you think, especially when we're thinking about prospects that always want to cause problems, what do you think they're going to be more receptive to?
I think something that is less salesy.
Exactly. Something that's less salesy when you're talking about how you can do it. You. Because guess what? Prospects only care about them. They literally don't give a F about us. They don't care. They don't care whatsoever, but they care about them. Meaning that we can utilize this to our advantage. So with that being said, right, every single day or every single week, we need to have like one day out of 5 where we're just pinging off follow-ups when we're not on the calls. We're just pinging off follow-ups, following up the same people, sending them free value. If you send this to someone this week, they don't respond, send them one of Eman's videos next week. Or send them one of Cypher's YouTube videos. Send them one of Ezzy's YouTube videos. Hey, I'm not sure if you find this useful, send it over. Anything to get them back in the boardroom. Anything to get their reply. Messages like, hey, are you moving? Hey, we spoke about this. Just wanted to check, or we're just going over we're just going over the list of people that we weren't able to help get over the line. Have you given up with XYZ problem? Like, there's so many follow-ups that you could hit, and there's so much ways you could work your prospects and you can work your leads to show extra money into your calendar. It would be insane. All right, if we wanted to do this for people that didn't show up, hey, have you given up on XYZ journey? Have you given up on making this change? Or hey, and looking over my files, I never got to speak to you. Wanted to send you this over. Not sure what your situation is, but it's been super useful and been able to generate insane results for some of our existing clients. Goodwill, goodwill, goodwill. We're always reaching out with the intention of giving them goodwill. So guess what? They're more likely to respond. When they're more likely to respond, they're back in the boardroom. When they're back in their boardroom, guess what? We make more money. Does this make sense, guys?
Yeah, 100%.
Like genuinely, like this call recording is going to be so vital for some of you guys. Honestly, like when you guys look at the back, like, damn, like this actually made me so much money, you're gonna be like, yeah, because I just did the extra work outside of a course, you know? It's one of those things where, like, once you just get into the habit of it, at the end of every single month, you're gonna be like, damn, like I made so much more money this month. That's gonna be insane, you know? Do you have any questions?